what I'm going to be talking about today is great, okay? It's a great film. The problem is, it's a remake of another film, and the OG was still better. I mean, it's a problem, you know? When you remake something really good, it can turn out shit. This is one of those cases where the remake wasn't as good as the original, but it doesn't mean it's inherently bad. Like, it's still good, but it's not as good. So, we're going to be talking about The Departed, which came out in 2005-06, and Infernal Affairs, one of my favourite films now that has probably come out in the last 20 years. Both very good. Infernal Affairs came out first. It's a Hong Kongese film. And then in 2005, it came out in America as a remake called The Departed. Martin Scorsese directed it, so it obviously had a huge bill in its cast as well. Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Mark Wahlberg, Jack Nicholson as well. I mean, Ray Winston. I mean, I was a bit perplexed. I was like, wait, Ray Winston, what are you doing in this? But I really liked the cast. I think they cast it really well for the story they were telling. But I just think, objectively, Infernal Affairs is a better movie than The Departed. It's not that The Departed is bad. Like, if I was to give them scores, and I don't give scores anymore, but The Departed is like an 8.7, 8.75, 8.7. Infernal Affairs is like a 9.2, 9.25. So I think it is significantly better, but they're both very, very good movies. I think something that surprised me watching The Departed was the runtime is nigh on 50% longer than Infernal Affairs. Like, Scorsese was like, this is a great story, but we're going to be like, we need to add more to it. So instead of being a 100-minute runtime, which was what the case with Infernal Affairs, The Departed was 150 minutes. And I think Scorsese did a good job building that time frame out and trying to get extra like ounces of story out of it. So he could put it on screen, but I just think that the super critical timescale that was involved and like, you know, the situations that batted off each other really, really quickly, and one relationship affected another one, and it was super intimate in a way. And I think that the shorter runtime lent itself better to that and the tension and the timescale than a longer runtime. So I think that Scorsese's interpretation was very good. I just think that the fact that that Infernal Affairs was able to do it in 100 minutes and tell essentially the original story, the same story, I think it just makes it a better film off the bat, because they've been able to get that same emotional connection as they do with The Departed, and it's not even in my language. It's not in English, it's not in Hindi, it's not none of that stuff. You know, I can watch Hindi films and Punjabi films and Gujarati films even, but Hong Kongese, Chinese films, they're not really my niche. I don't really watch a lot of them. I have watched more and more East Asian cinema and Southeast Asian cinema over the last 3-4 years, and that's been really helpful in understanding just different types of storytelling. I think there's this idea where it's like, you don't understand how other people work if you don't view their stuff. I get that. I just think storytelling is innate, and it's more you being open to listening to the story than their story being any different from anyone else's. I think Infernal Affairs, I can't see how it didn't win the Oscars, you know, in 2001 or 2 when it came out, because it was just incredible. It's one of the best films, as I said, over the last 20 years. But The Departed comes out, Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and it wins, like, it won Best Picture, Best Director, I don't know what other things it won. It won a lot of stuff. It won a lot of awards, yeah. And Infernal Affairs just got nominated for Best International Film at the Oscars. Maybe it won it, I'm not exactly sure. But, you know, when you look at Parasite now, the way it was accepted into the cultural zeitgeist, I think there are a lot of factors which have led to that. It's not just, you know, if Parasite had come out 5 years ago, it wouldn't have won Best Picture. Just as Infernal Affairs coming out 20 years ago, it wasn't going to win Best Picture, but we live in a world now where people are more willing to listen to films that are not in their own language. I mean, I know it's weird to say, but me looking back at myself 5-6 years ago, I wouldn't have even popped on Infernal Affairs. And I think I would have, if I had watched both of them, I would have preferred The Departed, just because I would have been more thrown into the story because they're speaking English. And that is, for me, is no longer a factor. It used to be. Not anymore. And I think a partial responsibility for that is actually K-pop. Which is crazy considering how much of an impact that has had on culture. And I think it's a big thing which has happened where people are just accepting things they don't understand off the bat, and they're taking the time to learn about them, or they're just willing to give it a shot. And I think with international film, a big thing is people not giving it the chance because it's not in their language. And I understand that. International film is not for everyone. Some people will just not have it because they don't want to spend the extra minute to read the subtitles. It's your choice. I'm not going to tell you have to read the subtitles. If you don't want to, you don't want to. It's your money at the end of the day and your time. But I think you're missing out on a lot of stuff if you're not going to give it the chance. Because, I mean, you look at some of these films that have come out over the last few years, last 10 years even. You know, The Raid is an Indonesian film, and it's just blow away good, incredible. And I think it's a problem in cinema if you haven't seen it and you're working in this field and you're an actor, you're an editor. When you look at the fight scenes, or you're a stunt choreographer and you're watching that, it's just incredible. So I think that international film has more of a place in the West than it did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And hopefully it will only get, you know, get a bigger footprint over the next few years, especially if the films are good. If the films are bad, films are bad. Bad films are made every week. But if there's a standout, incredible movie that's made, it should get the recognition it deserves. And I think Infernal Affairs, in retrospect, will get and has got some of the props it deserves. The Departed, still very good. Great acting, great writing, great characterizations, very good editing. And I think all those things, obviously, were just picked up from Infernal Affairs and plopped in a Irish-American situation. And it worked. And it was very, very... you were fully engrossed in it. But it's shocking that I actually like the Hong Kongese version instead of the American version more. It's really incredible. And as I said, it's all to do with personal choice and personal opinions. I think I'm just more open to it. I think that's the big thing. If you give it a chance, you watch it, and you watch international films from all over the world, you'll find the good stuff, you'll find the bad stuff. But I think it will just encourage you to view things in a different way. And I don't think it's about, oh, you don't understand them, and you're not giving them the chance, you're not accepting them, and you need to watch their filmmaking to understand different cultures. It's not just about that. I think filmmaking is innate, and you're going to get it if you get it, and you won't if you won't. If it's a good film, it's a good film, it's a good film. If it's a bad film, it's a bad film, it's a bad film. So I don't think it's about, you know, you not understanding the film and their culture and stuff like that if you don't watch their films. I think it's just giving it a chance to prove to you that it's a good film. And The Departed, very good, 8.75 out of 10. But Infernal Affairs, 9.25 out of 10. So just edges it for me. Something I rewatch once in a while just because it just fully takes you in for like an hour and a half. You are in that zone and you are nowhere else. It's absolutely incredible. I think I might try and get some people to watch it and see what they think about it, because it'll be interesting to see if they prefer The Departed or Infernal Affairs. Infernal Affairs 2 and 3, let's not get started. 2, okay, I guess. 3, even worse. So the bottom line is, if you haven't seen Infernal Affairs, I'd suggest you watch it. And if you haven't seen The Departed, I would suggest you watch it. But, you know what? I don't know, maybe you should watch The Departed first and then Infernal Affairs. Maybe that would have changed my view of it. Like if I'd seen The Departed first and then watched Infernal Affairs, maybe I would have liked The Departed more even now. Odd way to think. Maybe I'll get other people to do it that way instead. That would be interesting to see, like the experimentation as to if they watch that one first, then they might just... Because you're watching The Departed after I've seen Infernal Affairs and you know the beats that are going to happen in the story. Interesting. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, guys, if you'd enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Leonardo DiCaprio will come after you. You don't want that. He's got a private jet, and he's all about the ozone layer. He's all about taking it down, I guess, in one way or another. But Leonardo, in his private jet, will come after you. You don't want that. You really don't, so just subscribe anyway to avoid that. Now, I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great, and I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it for over 2 years. 2 years. And we ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So just subscribe, lads. Just get it done. Move on with your day. And hopefully we can all be better by tomorrow. My throat's going a bit. My voice is going a bit. But that doesn't stop me. Nothing stops me. Not even my voice going. Not even my voice going. I've made videos without a voice. That's how committed I am to this. A video every single day for over 2 years. Sometimes no voice. Sometimes no face. Sometimes no face. I don't know how that works. That's radio, but it's a video. Figure that one out. See you tomorrow. I'll be here nonetheless with some more quality shitty content because we serve it every day. Hot steaming shit. Quality shit though. Quality shit content served steaming to you on the daily. On the regular. On the daily. See you tomorrow because I'm hashtag never not here. Hashtag never not here. That's what all those things before mean. Like hashtag never not here. Quality shitty content every day for 2 years. Hashtag never not here. It's pretty self-explanatory to be honest with you. But I'll be here tomorrow because as I said, never not here. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Skadoosh.